There we go. We're back again and again for another riveting episode of Linked Out.
Your favorite tag team.
Your favorite tag team. Your
Back
favorite,
at it.
Your favorite two gals, your besties, your outies.
Yappin' for
change.
change. That's what it was. I couldn't remember if it was yappin' for good or yappin' for change. Yappin' for change. Yes. That's what we're doing.
Yappin' for community.
Aw. Community is the word of the week.
Community yap.
Community. All right. Well, Brit just got back from a trip.
Oh, wait, let's do the intro.
Okay.
Welcome to Linked Out. Welcome to Linked Out, the podcast that won't help you get a job, but will make you feel better about not having one. Okay.
Okay. So anyways.
Intro's over. Down to business. Let's go.
Brit just got back from a trip and I haven't seen her. And
so we thought we'd catch up on the mic.
Yeah, we're going to catch up on Brit's trip to our nation's capital.
Oh, yeah. So historical.
How was it? How was your trip to our nation's capital?
Well, I didn't do much there. So
fair.
My family, my partner and his parents and my child went sightseeing and I did not go. Because I didn't want to. No, I had
valid.
Because I had to do work related things.
That's right.
For the jobs that I don't really have.
So you were on a trip, a vacation, a mini vacation, but you ended up having a couple of interviews.
I had interviews and then I had a freelance gig, which I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I talked about my freelance gig that I went on 0 interviews for.
No, you haven't talked about it yet.
Okay.
You haven't talked about it yet. But that's because you were like unsure, is this even a thing or not?
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna.
But it is a thing.
Yeah, so I met a gal at an establishment.
Like you do.
And, you know, she's a creative director and she, you know, and I've heard this song and dance before, which is why I didn't believe it. So she said, oh, I work here. We need writers, yada, yada, yada. Send me your info. So her phone number was in a group chat with other people that I went out with.
Me too. I was in this group chat
She was
too.
in the group chat. And she told both of us to send our...
Did she?
Uh-huh.
I didn't feel like it was for me. Didn't feel like it was for me.
She was like, yeah, you guys are writers. Send your stuff over.
I don't know. I just was like, I'll let you shoot your shot on that one. And then, I mean, it sounds like it's going to work out. Like, I'm glad, obviously. But
well, so
that didn't feel like the right shot for me to take.
The right shot? Well, you have another freelance. Kinda.
Yeah, I do. I do have a little something, at least something.
But I think I think this place does need maybe another person. So I'll
let
work
me know
on it
how
from
it
the
goes.
inside.
Let me know how it goes.
But it is a freelance gig. I sent her my portfolio. I got an email like a couple days later and I was like, who is this from? Because you know how many people we fucking email. And they said, oh, you're so-and-so's friend. Like, here's some onboarding paperwork. We're probably going to need you in the next couple weeks. And I was like, what? I literally didn't talk to a single person.
No.
Sounds like a scam, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
you
a
were just
scam.
like, this isn't how jobs work.
This is how jobs work. I didn't have to jump through a single hoop. So, yeah. So they sent me onboarding paperwork. I sent them back my info. And then I talked to the HR person and they said, okay, well, now you're in the system. So
now you work here.
When we use you, you can invoice us. Here's like an invoice template. And I was like, okay, hear from you never.
Yeah.
I still don't think, like, at this stage, I'm like, yeah, right. They're just getting my info just in case they have like a copy emergency that they need to throw someone on. And so I don't hear from them. I text the creative director. She was on vacation. She said, let me like ping someone. She didn't ping anybody. She goes, well, we'll probably need you on Tuesday. So it's Monday. Tuesday comes up. I don't hear from anybody. So I just am like, I'm going to email the girl who sent me the onboarding paperwork again. And I said, hey, they said they might need me Tuesday. Just wanted to check in. And then she goes, yeah, they do need you this on a Tuesday. And I was
The
like,
day before.
no, the day of.
Oh, the day of.
Yeah. This was Tuesday.
I know you texted me and you were like, this is how does anyone have a job?
How does anyone have a job? What's going on? And then she goes, hold on, let me hook you up with the point person. So she tags me in an email with the point person, and then the point person goes, oh yeah, we would love it if you could get started today. When are you free for a meeting?
Unreal.
And I'm like,
Unreal.
I can jump on a call I said in an hour, because I was going to time it with my daughter's nap time exactly, which I did somehow. And I was like, yeah, maybe like an hour. And she
you're
goes,
God's favorite.
yeah. And she goes, okay. And then she goes, here's some brief paperwork. You can go over it if you want, or I'll just go through it with you. I was like, okay. So
how extremely chill.
How extremely chill. I literally didn't talk to a single person on the phone. And this just makes me so
I love this for
fucking
you.
Mad because of all the people that I spoke to on the phone.
Previously.
That I did Zoom interviews with for other jobs that I didn't even get.
Right.
Like a lot of those were even freelance gigs.
I know,
like,
but I say that
underpaying freelance gigs.
Your guard is obviously going to be up anytime anyone is like, oh yeah, we're like, even because we've talked about this, like even if it's someone you're still like, yeah, we'll see. You know,
that one girl that I knew,
right? Exactly. You can still be burned by people that so it's like it's still you're gonna have your guard up, and you did. But I mean, it sounds like you've started actually doing stuff, so that's great.
Yes, I started working on a project. And
well, that's great. So you're just gonna
with them today,
kind of get to like invoice them as you go. Is that just the plan? That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, but hey, let me tell you, I haven't gotten paid yet, so
I know.
I'll let you guys know about that. But
well, we know where they are, so we'll be knocking on doors if they don't want to pay, because we're not going out like that.
Where they are.
Not
and
again.
The person from payroll that I spoke to was like, didn't even know like why I was going into the system. So it seems like
maybe they've got money to burn.
She was like, are you working at it's for like a conglomerate. Yeah. And she was like, are you working at the brick and mortar, or are you in the corporate offices? And I was like, I'm in the corporate offices. I'm a copywriter. And she was like, okay, cool. Yeah, just invoice me.
Anything you want.
Yeah. I was like, okay. So like, I'm not going to do this. But
yeah, don't tell anybody.
Like, I mean, it's like nobody, I don't know. The disconnect is interesting, but
it's funny.
They did give me a brief. I got logged into their system and, again, didn't do a single job interview for
It's so interesting too, because I feel like this experience that I'm having with this freelance gig is kind of similar. Like, I mean, I did talk to one person before they kind of like hired me, but it's all been very like informal and just kind of like, oh yeah, like whatever. Like, and I feel like that there's no middle ground. It's either like you've interviewed 6 times and had to do like 3 copy tests and take a personality test, and also like, you have like all these things. You either do all of that and nothing happens, or like someone's just like sends you an email and is like, can you do start working like tomorrow? And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. That's it. And those are the 2 types of experiences that are available.
That's actually what happened with the last freelance job that I worked. And this was like months and months ago. they called me on a Tuesday. It was like my friend also had worked there, and they asked him to work there again, but he couldn't do it, so he kicked it over to me. And then he was like, they said they're gonna call you, and then they didn't. And then it was like a small agency, and the owner of the agency like emailed me on like a Tuesday at like 4:30 p.m. and was like, hey, can you jump on a call? And I was
After
like,
business hours.
yes, after business hours. And I was like, sure. And I didn't get the email till like 6. And so
Of course,
I
yeah.
text him, and he calls me, and he's like, can you start tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. And this was like in office. And so I was living on the east side of LA, and this was in Culver City, which is definitely like that's on the west side, in case anybody knows about locationally what's going on in Los Angeles. It's not a cool drive. It's like, it's,
not
it's
a fun drive.
It's maybe 20 miles, but if I have to
20
be there
miles
at
is
9.
far.
Yeah.
20 miles is far.
It might be a little less, but
Okay.
if I have to be there at 9, it's going to take like 2 hours to drive like 15 miles.
Oh my God.
And so like,
So that you were like, oh, okay,
was like-
I better leave now.
yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, no problem.
I'll be there.
Of course. Cause I was, again, desperate for work.
I know. When they say jump, you say how high.
Yeah. So I went into this office on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of that week. And then the following week, and it was supposed to be a month-long contract, and then they cut my contract after like the second week and said, oh my gosh, like we actually aren't going to move forward with this project until next month because we have too many other things. So we'll call you then. And then they didn't. So
That's like,
whatever.
that was like in October, I think, like my last freelance kind of gig before the one that I'm currently doing. It's been a dry spell, obviously, hence the podcast. But it was like the day before I was supposed to start on like a Friday, and I was like just like finalizing some like onboarding paperwork. Like this was a little bit more official than the one I'm doing now in terms of like they had sent me a bunch of stuff, and I was like, okay, great. So just like to know, I was like, so this is 6 weeks, so that'll be, whenever I like calculated when the end date would be, and so that I could like know when I was going to send my final invoice or something. Anyway, and they were like, actually it's not 6 weeks, it's actually 6 days.
What?
And I was like, are you kidding me?
Did you get it wrong, or did they get it wrong?
No, they changed it. Like literally the day before I was supposed to start, they were like, because we had emails. I have receipts.
You have receipts.
I have receipts.
Bitch has receipts.
Going back and forth, being like,
Trying to
okay,
gaslight
6
her.
weeks.
6
and then
days.
they
Get
were
outta
like,
here.
no, actually, it's just 6 days. And I was like, okay, cool. But
They're like, what can we do? We can just use the number 6.
that's like a huge difference in money too, obviously, for those at home keeping score. Not the same.
Not the same.
6 days of work and 6 weeks of work.
1 month and 10 days, also not the same.
Not the same. Not the same. So anyway, so that's cool. Well, so
Even though like they had like that freelance thing that was supposed to be a month for me, like I had it in writing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I signed a thing. Like I signed a letter of what are they called? A contract.
Yeah, a contract.
I was going to say a letter of intent, but I feel like that's like more of a legal terminology, but I don't
Is
really
that
know
for
what
like
that is.
committing to a sports team?
All right. Yep. Well, yeah. So, I mean, I signed a contract. And so, like, I just didn't want to I feel like legally they're on the hook, but also, like, you don't want to.
Legal schmeagle.
You don't want to, like.
Who's going to do anything?
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, you have to pay me for that full month. Because, like, you want to work there again.
Right.
And if you tell them they have to pay you for
wanna
what the
be
contract says,
easy breezy.
then maybe they don't hire you again.
Yeah.
Which in
who
retrospect,
cares?
they didn't
Which
anyway.
who cares?
So shouldn't have been so fucking chill about it.
Okay, but so you were working a little bit while you were on your vacation, and
Yeah, so I was working.
she's busy.
She's busy, and
She's booked and busy.
I guess like that,
And you were interviewing.
and yeah, and I went on. Well, I was gonna do some segue into that part.
Okay.
But I was gonna
Go for it.
Well,
no.
no.
Don't let me stop you.
Well, no, because I wanted to the contract, the signing a contract for freelance, made me think of something on LinkedIn I was reading about.
Pray tell.
About like about people that get offer letters and get them rescinded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like somebody had
Brutal.
Somebody had gotten an offer letter and quit their job, their current job, and then 2 days after they quit their job, they rescinded the offer letter.
Oh my God.
And so
That's so fucked up.
this like specific person was saying that now when they get offer letters for jobs before they quit their current job, they negotiate, they make sure they sign a contract, and then they negotiate
that they can't be like
if they rescind the job, then you get like 3 months salary or something.
Okay. That's smart.
And I was like, that is genius. I've never heard of that before. But
but until
desperate times.
recently, I hadn't heard about people's offers getting rescinded
same,
either.
Same.
I was like, oh, once you have the offer in hand, and you were like, nah, not so fast, because there's lots of people now coming forward talking about they have the offer.
Yeah.
And then
Cat's back, guys.
the cat's back. You can't hear him. But he's here.
He's here.
But they get it rescinded within, a few days of starting working or something like that. And it's like a nightmare situation because you're so excited to start a new job, or you've finally gotten a job, whatever the case is, to immediately take the wind out of your sails in such a you're so helpless. Like there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
But I guess you can try to protect yourself from that happening via whatever this person's advice was about having some terms about not, getting paid for 3 months or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the person that this happened to, they told their next employer, I need a contract, and if you rescind the offer, I need 3 months salary. And they said, we only do 2 weeks severance.
Severance.
They said we can only do two weeks pay. And they were like, okay, well then I'm not going to take the job. And then I guess they drew a hard line, and the company agreed to what this person wanted and gave them, if they said if they rescinded the offer.
Very rare for them to
Right.
concede. I feel like especially now because the companies have definitely the upper hand. But, I was talking to someone, I think this was last week, I was talking to a recruiter. I think I told you about this. And me and her, it should have been an episode of this podcast, honestly, because we just it was like a talk about all of the things that we talk about, and not really a talk about me getting a job. It was just a talk about the state of white collar employment and what's going on in the industry, and what role recruiters have and how they're getting squeezed out and all this stuff. It's a very interesting conversation, and I was glad for it. But something I hadn't really thought about that much was that for a long time, the employees had the upper hand when there was a time when, people were in the age of quiet quitting and there was just so much. There was a time when it was employees could hop from place to place.
Oh yeah.
Not that long ago. And employers were very much at the mercy of people coming and going, pretty quickly.
Yeah. People were, and they were also trying to sell you on the company.
Yeah.
Instead of they were competing against other companies for you instead of the other way
Yeah.
around.
And now, obviously, that dynamic has completely shifted, and the employers don't ever, they're afraid to ever like be in that position again because it was like, I don't know. I guess it was just like hard for them. I mean, boo-hoo. I don't know, but
Boo-hoo company.
boo-hoo companies. Come on, it's hard for everybody. But yeah,
fuck faces.
Was your segue going to be about another story that we got in our inbox?
No.
Okay, but have you read the story that I'm talking about? Oh yeah,
No.
I sent it to you. But did you read it when you were on vacation? I keep calling it vacation.
Yeah, this was not vacation. This was like my partner's cousin's wedding, and
yeah, sorry.
I would never go to DC on vacation.
To me, it's a vacation.
But it was lovely. It was a lovely place.
You wouldn't go to DC in February on a vacation?
No, to go to some dumb wedding. But
I just got a rejection letter while we were sitting
live
here.
in real time.
Yep.
Read it out, girl.
It's pretty canned. It's from, I told you guys, I think I said last time I changed my location to the United Kingdom.
Yes.
It's from a job I applied for in
Cheerio,
London. They have identified candidates who are more closely aligned with the role requirements.
That's live there.
Probably. I don't know. I'll never know.
Real-time rejection.
It's okay. I for sure never thought I was going to get that job anyway. So
hey,
doesn't hurt me.
Throw a bunch
it
of
can't
shit at
hurt
the
me.
wall. You can't hurt me. I already knew.
Yeah. You really can't hurt me. I'm calloused.
Well, before we move on, I want to say, summing up, I think that is really good advice. If you get an offer letter, make sure they put in the offer letter or the contract that if they resend it, they owe you something.
Yeah.
And you can decide what that is.
But also maybe like, as I think most people probably know this advice, but just something.
I didn't know that.
No, not that. Sorry. The advice I'm going to say, which is don't like burn any bridges on your way out of your other company, just in case you have to go back begging for your job back, which would be a nightmare.
Well,
obviously.
get that whatever clause in your offer letter before you quit your other job.
Yeah, that's smart.
I think that's like, and obviously, and I'm thinking like, obviously we don't really have jobs right now, but
obviously.
If somebody did that shit to me, I would tell them that I did have another job and that I already quit my other job. Which I have had an offer letter rescinded to me before, and this was before though all of this stuff started going down.
This is back in the day,
and this was like around like COVID times, and they, I was doing a freelance thing. I got hired at a place full time. I like really negotiated my salary and everything was like set. And I did not tell the freelance that I wasn't going to. Something told me not to quit that freelance. And they were like, did you give your 2 weeks notice for your freelance yet? And I was like, yes, I did. And then like literally like 4 days later, they rescinded the offer. And I was like, well, good thing I already quit my other job. And they were like, I'm so sorry.
You think? Yeah. You think? Oh, are you sorry? It's fine. It's fine.
Are you so
sorry? Oh, you
sorry?
said you were sorry. It's fine. So fucking stupid.
But yeah, I just think that's really good.
Oops, my bad.
Ooh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. I guess it's okay. I just
sorry. Oh, company is so sorry.
Company is sorry.
Do you forgive company?
Please don't be mad at company.
Company love you. You're company family. Give company that letter back and please don't sue company. That's what company sounds like.
Yeah, that is what company sounds like.
Company has many offers. Company has many candidates. Company's so sorry they can't hire this specific candidate, but company wants you to please stay in our Rolodex because company might need you in the future. Company.
I saw that reminds me of I've seen people posting about getting like their rejection letters from companies that have a like a newsletter, and they're like in the rejection letter, like, and subscribe to our newsletter. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm gonna do
Oh,
that.
you didn't get the job, but sign up for our newsletter. Company wants you to sign up for newsletter. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Company has podcasts. Do you want to listen to it? It's all about company.
The company you don't work at. Anyway, that's great.
Oh my God. Like I think a job, like over the last couple years, that I was interviewing at had a company podcast.
Wow.
And they told me to listen to it, and I didn't because I listened to the first like 1 minute and it was so boring. And I was like, I don't even have this job yet. I was like, of course, yeah, I'll check it out.
Was it Salesforce?
No, it wasn't Salesforce. Maybe it was. I can't remember actually.
Because everything that they put out is so boring. But they have a lot of stuff that they put
Well,
out.
think about a podcast like within
No, I know.
an agency. Like they're all just like jerking each other off. Like,
Right. And they're, yeah, like it's,
and this week we did like, oh, this year, like if it was like traditional agency, that might be like a little bit more exciting, but still very, very boring.
no, extremely
You
boring.
know, like it's like a big agency with like
Smelling
500
your own
people, and they're
farts.
just like, this is what we did. It's like you may as well just go to the fucking, you know, what are those stupid team meetings that everybody has on like Mondays in the beginning of the month to say what everybody did.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to do that and listen to the fucking podcast. Get out of here.
I know.
Um,
But I mean, everybody wants to have a podcast. And you can't blame
everybody
them for
wants
that.
to have a podcast.
You cannot blame them for that. I see the appeal.
I see the appeal. This is great. This has been great. This has been great. And, you know, 75 to the 75 people that are going to download this.
We love you.
We love you so much.
We love you all so much.
Let's bump those numbers up to 250 so we can get monetized.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends about us.
Tell your friends. We want to hear their stories.
Tell your
too.
friends about us because, yeah, we want to hear their stories too. But also, you know, we do want to monetize. So
We want to
selfishly,
monetize. We want to
that's
build
why.
community.
That too.
We want to
Help us help
one
ourselves.
step closer to not having to bend over for the
we
man.
want to get one step further from unemployment also.
Yes. We were taking steps here.
If we're on the spectrum, like we said, we're on the spectrum, we're too far to the unemployment side. We want to step closer to somewhere in the middle. I'm not being greedy. I don't want to be overemployed. But I don't want to be underemployed either.
That's true.
You know? So
I mean, yeah, and again, I would, you know, supporting everybody's creative endeavors is what helps us not have to deal with these companies. And then maybe, you know, in a perfect world, they don't have enough candidates that work for them and they have to start being really fucking nice to everybody again.
Yep.
And paying everybody what they're supposed to pay them and doing no more than 3 fucking interviews. Because if I can't tell you what you need to know in talking to 3 different people, then fuck you.
I know.
But anyway, so that's that.
LinkedIn keeps trying to get me to update my email address, which is so
Don't
annoying
do it.
every time. I'm not going to, but I don't know why it wants me to do that, but every time I go on there, because I wanted to look at something that I sent you earlier that was funny, because I feel like I haven't been like reading straight from the LinkedIn recently.
It wants
Maybe I should get back to that.
Big Daddy LinkedIn wants more of your information.
It already has all of my information. It has all of my information.
Big Daddy LinkedIn's trying to go to Cannes this year, and he wants you to give him more money.
The LinkedIn activation at Cannes. That's my
I didn't even
hell.
see it. I just assumed they did that.
They probably, I'm sure they did. I'm certain they did. And I'm sure maybe our VP of marketing friend was there too, you know?
Oh, yeah. He was probably there not listening to our podcast. Unless he has.
Yeah. No, you know what, though? Are we like LinkedIn haters? Are we like LinkedIn's biggest haters? You know?
I don't know, because we're on there a lot.
And people are like, if you don't have haters, you're not popping. So like LinkedIn maybe it's like we are LinkedIn's biggest haters.
No, but
and
like
they-
everybody hates LinkedIn.
No, everybody does hang. That's
Nobody
true.
likes LinkedIn.
Nobody, not nobody.
There's probably
Nobody,
someone out
not
there.
nobody.
Well, our recruiter friend Gabe likes LinkedIn, but
They, yeah, the
that's because his
recruiters
job
like
is
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Right. That
As
is
you
his
would say.
job. Job is LinkedIn.
His Ken job would be LinkedIn. So I guess I'll segue into my next segment. Segue into my next segment.
Sashay
Into
your next
sachet.
segment.
I'll stay. So I did get in contact with a recruiter that's actually very, very good at her job. And I have never experienced this before in all of my years. This person is on top of her shit. And I'm telling you her gender because I don't think
Because obviously.
a man would be this attention to detail.
Because obviously she's good at her job.
So I got a referral from somebody for this recruiter. I had a friend that recently took a job that a relative works at the company, and it's not a good job, but they just
A job
really
is a job.
needed a job.
In 2025.
And
a job
so
is a job.
right after they accepted their shitty job, they found a recruiter through some like personal connections, and the recruiter was offering them a better job than the one they took, and they were like, well, since my relative works at this company, I kind of have to like
Stick it out
because that's
dip.
actually real family.
Yeah, that is your actual family.
Not just your job family, like that's blood relative.
Like you see them at Thanksgiving.
So she texted me, hey, I'm gonna give this recruiter your info. I said, okay. To my dismay, the recruiter like texts me immediately and is like, hey, do you have a second to jump on a call? Okay, this is normal. They always do this. I say, yeah, I could actually talk right now.
Oh my God.
This cat is
Dirt bike is just climbing
This
up
cat is attacking
dangerously
Sydney.
close to my face with his claws. Jesus.
Okay, so recruiter calls me immediately. We talk on the phone. They have a great job in mind. I still don't have high hopes for this, obviously.
Yes, for obvious reasons.
I get an email. I get an email with the job description within 15 minutes. She gives me contact people of who I would be speaking to in an interview same day. She sets up my interview later that night. And this was a Wednesday. So we make an interview for Friday. And things are moving quickly, which is,
Things are moving
quickly.
Things are happening.
So I'm in DC. I'm going to take the interview
oh, wow.
from there.
Okay, yeah. This was from
Well, no, it was here. We left on Thursday.
Right.
So but this was happening on Wednesday, and she made like all of these plans on the Wednesday that I spoke to her. And so that was interesting. And so we make an interview for Friday. She texts me, hey, I'm going to do some prep with you for the interview. Recruiter has never done this before.
Yeah.
She's like, let's jump on a call for like 30 minutes before, and I'll just, give you.
Did you
the
figure
rundown.
out at this point if she's like a recruiter for the agency itself, or if she's a recruiter, a third party
She's
recruiter?
a third party recruiter, but
Okay.
the agency, she works for a company that the agency hired.
Right.
So, she's already getting, she's not. She's contracted to find them somebody.
I'm just taking selfies with
I know.
the cat.
Sydney's not even
Sorry.
listening to me.
I'm
She's
listening.
taking
I'm
selfies.
just. I want to because I want to be able to post them for our on our social media, so that everyone can appreciate. Because it's hard. You're like, what does the cat look like? Okay,
What does the
continue.
cat look like? He's really cute. He's a little black cat. Okay, so things are moving quickly. I jump on a call with her. I go to this guy, the person who I'm interviewing with. I go to their LinkedIn page, and I noticed that he has posted a cattle call for this job that I'm supposed to apply to, which I think is, I'm like, and there's literally 100 responses.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, why is
I wonder if I have seen it just organically.
or just there, maybe. But like, I'm like, why is he even talking to me? He has like 100 books dropped into his comment section. And so I asked the recruiter about it, and she said, this is so interesting for people that are looking for jobs. Like, as we always talk about, dropping it down low in the comment section, and how, like, I believe that you shouldn't do that because I don't think anyone's going to look at your shit.
Right.
Because there's so many.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone responds to those.
And I don't think that's how you get a job.
No, I
don't think anyone's ever gotten a job that way.
Yeah. And I don't know why people do it. I mean, we've kind of gone into why people do it a little bit.
It's the same reason why people play the lottery, I guess. It's just like, maybe they'll see it, I guess. Maybe,
no, but I mean,
maybe
like, why the posters do it. Like,
oh, right.
Some
Yeah.
recruiters, fucking post jobs in their personal feed for reach is what they've told us.
Yeah.
But I don't think a recruiter is sitting there going through the hundreds of applicants in their comment section for this job.
No, and I also think I just to put a fine point on that. I think when they say that the reason they do that is to like expand their network, I don't think that's a good reason. And
That's a fucked up reason.
Let me tell you why. Your network doesn't need to be infinitely large. You don't need to be connected to 30,000 people who do the same job. You maybe could have 300 connections, and that's still more than enough. You don't need to know, like, it's too many choice. It's too many options.
Yeah.
It's just like, why do you need such a big network? What are you going to do with it? Are you running for office? Like again, what are you doing? Why do you need that many people with the same job title in your connections?
Yeah. And I'm not.
Are you trying to become a LinkedIn influencer? Let me know.
Let us know.
Let us know.
And let the people know so they don't drop it down low in your comments, because that's fucking rude.
Are you friends with her?
Do you know her?
Let me know.
Let me know.
Anyway.
So, I mean, that's also, as someone such as myself who's not a recruiter, I would think that you would want to build a network of quality candidates that
quality
you like,
over quantity,
that you like know what they're about and what they're looking for, and that they're good.
That you
candidates.
would go to a dinner party with?
Yeah. Hey, I mean, just like what,
dead or alive.
Look at their resume and books, and like build yourself a fucking Rolodex so that when you like see these
and it
jobs,
doesn't need to be 30,000 people.
Yeah,
it does not need to be that big.
You're not sending 30,000 people to the person who.
That's just a number that I keep using. But it's just like, why do you need to know that many people? Why even, 1,000 people? Like, why do you need that many people in your network?
Because like essentially, I would imagine you're only sending the company like
that puts
6
you in
candidate, at most.
What's that thing, like the paradox of too many choices or something? You know what I mean? Where it's like there's too many options.
Yeah,
you can't choose.
It's why, as when in this industry, when you are working at a place with clients, you don't give them 20 different ideas.
Right.
You give them
3
ideas.
Always 3.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But okay, so whatever. So that's crazy. So I asked her why he did that. If I'm interviewing with him, like there's 100 comments there. Like, why is he still posting about this.
He didn't find anybody.
If he's
that he liked in
interviewing
those
with me.
comments.
And so she said that they were trying to source the job themselves, and he got overwhelmed by the amount of comments that he got, and he went through all of them and didn't find a viable candidate. But he said that people were like finding his like personal email and sending it to him, and they were DMing him, and they were putting
That's
it
what
in the
happens when you
comments.
throw chum in the water. That is what happens. And we are all sharks, okay? We are all circling, trying to find, some blood, aka a job. Just some people, everybody is looking desperately for a job. So that doesn't surprise me at all that happens. I think their inboxes probably get flooded for weeks because it keeps getting passed around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even well after. It's like, just delete it. Just take it down.
Take it
delete
down. Well, then they do the edit where they're like, thanks for
Update,
the overwhelming number
right.
of responses.
Yeah.
And that specific edit was like, there were my DMs were flooded, my comment section were flooded, and even some avenues I didn't even know people could get my personal email, but that was also flooded. And it's like, okay, well,
this is the internet. Welcome to the internet.
You just doxed yourself.
Welcome to the wild, wild west of LinkedIn, okay? There's no fucking rules here.
But I thought that was really interesting, like a pull behind the curtain, because I've never had a recruiter give me so much information about the process, even though I think that they should. And I've never had a recruiter prep me for an interview before.
Yeah. That's
and it wasn't
amazing.
even like prep, like, oh, look at this and go do that, like whatever. But she like really took the time to like just jump on a call and be like, so they're looking for like somebody with your background. They really like your book. They this person. And then she told me the info about how they tried to source this job themselves, and then they went to a recruiter.
Yeah.
And then she gave me a timeline, which is another thing that recruiters don't usually do.
I think everything you're describing is you would call transparency.
Yes.
There's been transparency the whole time, which is, I fear, a dying art in the world of recruiting and job searching. Transparency. We love transparency.
We love transparency.
There's nothing better than transparency.
And that was another thing that I asked her. I was like, so potentially if this interview goes well, how many will there be? She said 3. I said, okay. And she said, possibly 4, but probably just 3. And I said, okay. And then I said, will there be a copy test? Because I need to know up front if there's going to be a copy test before I go on
this journey.
The 3 interviews.
Yeah.
I don't want to take a copy test on the 4th interview.
I love that you said that. And I think I messaged you because you told me that while you were gone. And I think in general, first of all, fuck a copy test.
Yeah, fuck a copy test.
But if they're going to do it, why don't they just get it out of the way immediately? Like, let's not, if you're going to use that to judge someone, you're going to give it to them anyway. Don't waste their time interviewing a bunch and then give it to them and then reject them. It's like, if you're going to reject someone on the basis of that, just give it to them right away. And they can decide if they want to do it or not. And then you're not wasting, neither person is wasting their time at that point.
Exactly. It's just so simple.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Like,
but I never thought about that until you said that. And I was like, why is it that they always do
it on
the test work? Yeah. After rounds and rounds of interviews.
Because, I mean, at that point, there's 2 ways the copy test could go on the 4th interview. You as the candidate are like, well, fuck it. I've come this far. I may as well take this fucking copy test.
I think that's probably what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Or they're like, fuck you. Fuck you. You should have told me this in the beginning. I'm not moving forward with these interviews. Those are the only 2 options, I guess. But, I mean, and I did tell, so I was like, I need to know about the copy test. She said, I don't think there's going to be a copy test, but I'm going to meet with him directly after your call to get feedback.
Yeah.
And then I will talk to him about the copy test.
It's like speed dating. What you're doing is like speed dating.
We're going right through.
Yeah.
We're like, do you want kids? Where do you want to live?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like just getting to the heart of the matter right away.
Right away.
I love that.
And so
I love this for you.
this has been, and the other thing is if this experience, like which I'm not counting on getting this job because I never fucking do, but at least I won't have wasted like months of my life waiting for emails.
Right.
Like, and I did the call with the person for the job. It went really well. On the call, they told me, I want to have you meet some other people. I've had people tell me that before and never talked to them again. So I did not take that for its word, as fact.
Yeah.
I didn't take that as fact just in case. And then I had the recruiter text me right after I talked to him. And she said, I'm about to jump on a call with him. I'll let you know what happens. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So then 30 minutes later, she texts me, I've gotten some really positive feedback. I'm going to set you up with a couple more interviews next week.
Okay.
And another thing that she did was she didn't ask me for my avails. She told me, like, I hate doing like windows of availability for recruiters because I take all this time, like doing like I could do 11 to 3 or 2 to blah, and she was like, I have 2 times on Friday or I have 3 times on Monday. And if those don't work, we can set something up for Tuesday. And I was like, this is great.
So much easier.
Let me pick the Friday one to get it out of the way.
Right. So much easier.
So much easier. Like, so I thought that was nice. These are all things that I don't experience that I didn't experience one time on my 2 years of talking to 489 recruiters.
Stop. Wait. Okay. So this recruiter was someone that your friend was connected to.
Yes.
How did they become
I'll have
connected?
to get more details.
Yeah.
I think
I'm just curious where the good recruiters
where the
hiding.
good recruiters.
No, but she obviously is good at her job, and that's not to say that
maybe there are good ones.
There definitely are, and
on LinkedIn, it's just like, how do you find them?
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm wanting to know. Is like,
and definitely this recruiter did not post anything. I'm just saying, I went to this recruiter's LinkedIn.
Yeah,
she has not posted a job on her personal feed, which I find
green flag,
incredible.
Green flag, big green flag for us.
So yeah, like I think that most of the people she sources are through word of mouth, and I think I'm just assuming. I don't know how she does things, but this is what it seems like from an outsider's perspective. And again, she texted me, "We're doing fine," and then this bitch texts me today, and she said, I haven't heard from them today, but I'm expecting to hear from them by the end of the day. So I just wanted to keep you posted.
Amazing.
Babe.
Should I be jealous?
Yes.
I feel like you're going to start a podcast with her. Brit, come on.
I'm going to run away with this chick.
Don't replace me. I mean, she's probably really good at podcasts too.
You're like,
I don't even know. The energy that she's bringing to recruiting, she's probably really good at podcasts. She's really good
at podcasts.
She's probably better than I am at podcasts. She
comes in with like full organized energy.
Yeah. She's got a like YouTube channel and already has like 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, she has the subscribers.
Damn it.
She knows how to do the visuals.
Did you see, I also sent you that this is so funny, and I saw so many people making fun of this, but that YouTube reported that they had this like big, I don't know, conference or something like that, and they reported that they have 1 billion viewers of their podcast. 1 billion viewers, not 1 billion views, 1 billion viewers of the podcast on YouTube, like podcasts in general. So that's someone did a really funny post about it on LinkedIn, actually, of course, my only social media. But they were like, okay, so that's every single person in the United States plus 600 million other people, give or take, in the world, and not including babies and grandmas. Like, no, 1 billion people didn't watch podcasts on fucking YouTube. Don't do the math. Everybody knows that's not true.
It's not true.
It's just not. But it was funny because I was like, shit, we do need to be on YouTube. We need to be on YouTube.
We're working on it, okay?
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're a slow burn.
Right. We're working on it. We have concepts of how we're going to do it.
We have concepts of plans.
Yeah, we have concepts of plans, okay? So please just be patient. Bear with us.
Yeah,
We will be on YouTube someday.
We're gonna be on YouTube.
Who knows when?
Well,
but
when we
will.
have our favorite. What did we call Ben Palmer? Your favorite comedian's favorite troll on
Yes.
your favorite comedian's favorite social media channel.
Yeah.
Ben Palmer on in a couple of weeks we are going to be recording that. So that will probably be our first like YouTube kickoff. I would say. But
we're recording that this week, but we will probably not get around to editing it and putting it up.
You have to tell them how the sausage is made, Sydney.
You said we should tell them how the sausage is made. Brit, what is
I
it?
was just being you.
Damn it.
I'm gonna call.
Oh. Okay.
Bleep it.
Wow. Wow.
I'm calling that recruiter.
I'm a little insecure. I was feeling good coming in today.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna call her. I don't even know her.
Sounds like you do.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna try to get this job, and I will never speak again until I try to get a next job. Until I give you her phone number.
Lord willing. Yeah. I'm like, hey.
We can't bleep it.
Oh shit. Okay.
We keep saying her name.
We're gonna bleep that. I'm like, hey, you probably know who I am already. Brit probably told you about me, right?
She's like, I listen to the podcast because I do my research thoroughly.
Wow. Imagine.
Can you
She's
imagine?
listened to every episode. No.
And I will tell you that she did get a look at my LinkedIn and all of my burning it down posts.
Wasn't phased
at all.
Because it's like, honestly, so all the people who like commented on your stuff, like, or messaged you and were like, oh, but you can't say stuff or whatever, or like you won't get a job. And you were like, first of all, that's dumb. No one gets a job on LinkedIn.
No one gets a job on LinkedIn.
Doesn't matter anyway. But also I remember.
How many jobs do you have, sir?
If they they obviously haven't listened to the episode with Gabe because we specifically asked him, like, do you care what people like post on LinkedIn? And he was like, I don't even look at that. Like, they don't have time to look through all of your posts and comments and stuff unless you're posting like extremely problematic stuff, which I'm not saying people don't do on LinkedIn. They obviously do, but if you're doing that, then that's a whole different can of worms, I guess. But yeah, they don't care. They're not looking through your posts on your feed to see like what you think about recruiters and stuff. They just aren't. They're just not. So anyway,
they're not doing it.
They're just not.
And honestly, like I don't feel like sharing my I don't think that sharing my personal struggles with this job market and what's happening and
I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Like I don't really think that that's I don't think that that's a bad.
Yeah,
I don't think that that's like a problematic.
No, I don't either. And like you're a writer, like writers write about like what's happening to them. Like that is what writers do, So it's like it's the way you're writing about it isn't just like, I don't know, like, hey, ChatGPT, write a post about being unemployed or something.
Right.
It's like, this is like
it's but first coffee. Before I get my unemployed day started, let me get my coffee.
I'm running on coffee. Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, I don't, and that's just, again, do your own research, do what's comfortable for you. That's my personal opinion.
That's my opinion.
It's my opinion. It's not.
How do you know what's best for me?
It's just. It's just how I feel in my soul and my heart. And I don't think it matters.
We're going with our guts. Even if our guts have shit for brains, we're going with our guts.
Good one. Good one, Sydney. But yeah, so I just found all of this stuff interesting, and I thought I would share with our listeners who are also trying to get job. And I think that this goes back to vetting your recruiters from the beginning, because if if your recruiter can't answer simple questions about the job, then you're wasting your time even sending them your resume, basically, or
Yeah.
jumping on a call with them, which they do sometimes when they show up.
I almost was gonna say she puts the cute in recruit, but that doesn't work. But if your recruiter's not out recruiting,
She's
then
a real cutie.
she's a cutie.
But you know, I just think that like, I think that this is, we have to find untraditional
Yes,
ways to figure out how to weasel our way into
for sure.
where we need to be, because the ways that
The
are
old ways ain't working.
that are in front of us that we've all tried, that again, I know I've been trying for 2 fucking years. I
Yeah.
actually just, it's like
2-year.
my 2-year unemployed anniversary. Like it was in February. It was, like, last
Congratulations.
month. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Which is a long time and a lot of job interviews.
Fuck yeah, it is. It definitely
and,
is.
You know, a lot of like failed attempts. And so again, like my opinion's not fact, but I do have a lot of experience with trying to crack into this job market. And I've tried so many different things.
Yeah.
And so again,
Do you feel like now, do you think, I guess my question is 2 parts. So do you feel like you're starting to get some like maybe more meaningful traction, and B, the second part of the question, do you feel like it's because of how much time we've like spent thinking about and talking about this and learning about it? Or do you think it's just like the timing is whatever, the, you know, stars are aligning now in a different way? What do you think about
I think a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
I think that like talking about it, and you know,
I feel like we've gotten like more, okay, like I always say, I've like red pilled myself on this because I like can see like what's really happening. I'm like on the other side of the matrix or whatever. But I also feel like because we like are learning so much about what's going on, it's easier to not fall into like the scams and the like dead ends and stuff too, you know?
yeah,
I don't know. But
I think, yeah. And I think that like, I think that also just the importance of like knowing when to say no, sometimes is kind of like, you know,
yes,
I would have
protecting your
so many of these recruiters that like
Time.
slid into my DMs after I make a "why are recruiters so bad" type post.
yeah.
I would have like responded to them even though knowing they weren't gonna, but like me ghosting them is like taking some of my power back.
Yes.
Because I know that they're not going to get me a job anyway, because like some of them already ghosted me.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't believe they have jobs.
And you don't
And
owe
if
them
they
any
do,
more of your time.
I don't think, yeah, I don't owe them any more of my time. So I think that like, you know, vetting your recruiters is something that like, you know, instead of just, and we've known like, it's a joke in the industry, like even before this job market was so bad, we're like, what do recruiters even do? You know, is like a thing, like, and I don't know. I mean, I have had some help me more than others that were like at company, like that were the recruiters of the agency.
Yeah.
But also like I've never really, you know, even before the job market was so bad, gotten a job from a LinkedIn recruiter or like one of those like full circle or 360, 80, whatever those fucking
Yeah, I know what you're talking
those
about.
places are called.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just Robert Half.
Yeah. Oh my God. What's the one that I know what you're talking about, but I
Yeah,
can't
it's
think
like
of what
some
it
numbers.
is. Yeah.
It's like some numbers.
I know.
They suck.
They do.
24/7.
Oh yeah, 24/7. That's right.
But yeah, so I do think that like, and I think like letting go a little bit, and just kind of, you know, it's what's going to happen. You know, you obviously you still have to like keep your head in the game and keep your ear to the street. But again, the traditional ways are not working.
Yeah.
And they're not going to work. So
Yeah.
I think just like opening your mind to like other ways of weaseling your way into a job
Yeah.
is like important.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like everybody take a deep breath and it's going to be okay. And when it rains, it pours. And when the sun is shining, maybe it gets too hot, you know, maybe all of a sudden you have had no job for 2 years and then you find yourself in a freelance and interviewing for a full-time position. And maybe they both fall through the cracks and maybe they don't.
Yeah.
But either way, you just got to keep pushing, I guess.
You got to just keep going. I think I took this week to, I don't know if people have this opinion of me. Maybe I'm a little self-conscious that I'm like not doing shit. I swear to God, I do shit. But I took this week kind of while you were gone to like pull back from my time online and like finding, you know, reading about this and like confirming all of my like, you know, suspicions and like learning more about like why things are so bad. Because I was like, someone sent me an article and it was like, I sent it to you. It's like about how the economy is like, the job economy is frozen. And I sent it to my dad and my dad was like, you just only like read bad news. And I was like, do I really? But I was like, do I really do that? And I was like, well, my dad is, I have an old dad. I mean, I'm old too, but so he's like really old now, but
dads.
He's gotten like, I don't remember him ever being like such an optimist when he was like when I was growing up. But I feel like now he's like, I don't know, in his softening in his old age. He used to be such a hard ass, and now he's like, you got to see the, you know, the glass half full instead of half empty or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take some time from hating online and reading bad news and stuff like that. And I'm just not going to feel those feelings for like a few days. And it's been nice, honestly. I've just had a little breaky break and, you know, I feel good. I do like not read everything anyways. I don't think I only read bad news. I think that was no, he doesn't know what I read. So,
Dad, you don't even know what I read.
He doesn't know what I read, anyways. But I do think,
Dad, you don't know what I read. I'll tell you, you don't know. Get out of here, old dad.
He did inspire me to kind of, you know, take a break, which I only bring up because I think I want to encourage our listeners to sometimes take a break from, you know, all of the shitty things that you read about online and everybody else talking about this and stuff. I know that's what we do. We talk about this, but it's good to take a break sometimes and just remind yourself that like life is worth living.
Yeah, and you know, the email is if you get
That was pretty good, Justin Bieber.
That was good.
Wasn't it? Okay.
It was really good.
Thanks.
I
needed you to say that.
The email is still going to be there if you go on a walk. So
that's right.
Don't worry about it.
The email is still going to be
leave
there.
your phone at home. And, you know, if somebody pops into your email about a job and you don't hit them back in 10 minutes, if you hit them back hours later, or even if you get them back, you know, the next day, they're not going to rescind the job because you don't jump on it quick enough.
Yeah.
And if they are, then that job is
you don't want
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like they're like, oh, well, they didn't respond in 45 minutes and we got someone else. Like that's not sustainable. That's not like a sustainable thing for you.
No.
or for us. We're telling ourselves this too. Don't worry. It's not, we're like, it's not for you. It's for us. It's for everybody. It's not a sustainable job for anyone.
We're always just kind of talking to ourselves and also to you, but
the collective
a lot to ourselves.
It's the collective we.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We kind of came into this today with like, you know, we kind of had like, again, like we just wanted to kind of like give you guys updates on like traction that we're getting once we decided that we didn't give a fuck, I guess.
Yeah.
About everything.
Yeah.
We were like, fuck, this is never going to happen. And I think like some stuff is moving in that direction that, you know, is more stuff than it has been in the last
God knows
how long. But we still don't count our chickens because Shit.
One must never count their chickens.
Never count your chickens. But I do, you know, I mean, I have gone from saying fuck recruiters to like go get yourself a really good recruiter. And they are really hard to find.
Find yourself a good one.
Find yourself
a baddie like bleep.
Like bleep.
All right.
I don't want to dox her, but
but honestly, maybe we'll just like plug her services once we get on the other side of this. Once we do have some ad money, maybe we can start plugging their recruiting company that she works with.
Yeah, because she is good, and you know, and Gabe too.
Yeah,
those are two good recruiters.
I guess they don't really need our help, but
yeah, they don't need our help. Though he's spoken to, and in the seat, so you know, it's like that guy. It's like that creep at the bar that just hits on every single person.
Yes,
and then metaphor. Like one of them, one person maybe bites. You know, they're like, okay. So like, I think that like you have to talk to every single. You have to like talk to every single recruiter.
Unfortunately, you do.
In order to find
your type,
the good one. That's not a good analogy.
No, but we get it. We get it. We get it. All right, you guys.
Okay.
We love you.
We love you so much. Thanks for tuning in, and we have more exciting things on the horizon for coming up, and we already told you about them, but we're going to be pumped, and we're going to get motivated, and we're going to talk job scams with number one troll.
Fuck yeah.
And we're so excited.
So excited.
Teaser. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please give us a 5-star review. Email us at linkedoutpod@gmail.com and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky at linkedoutpod. Your support means everything, and we fucking love you. Mwah. That was cute. Bye, bestie.